So in the previous lectures we are just going through the chapter number 1, that is soil erosion and conservation. So let us just revise whole chapter, and the last topic of this chapter is just remaining, that is soil conservation. But before that, let us just see whole thing. First of all, we have seen about the topsoil. What is topsoil? The topmost layer of the soil is known as the topsoil. Then after, we have seen something that just erode the topsoil. So how the topsoil is eroded, we have seen by the by the wind, heavy wind, and by the heavy rain. If they are not, the topsoil is not protected and the topsoil is not hold, then it is eroded. But how it is protected? The topsoil is how it is protected first of all. Then we know that as we just forest area is there, where the trees roots just hold the topsoil. All the nutrition that the trees and the plants get from the topsoil only. But how the topsoil is formed first of all? When the bedrock, just after thousands years, when the bedrock is just converted into rocky thing, and then after it is converted into small particles, and then after it is converted into topsoil. Okay students, so that is how the topsoil is formed. And then after, with the plants and trees just grow on the topsoil, and their roots just hold the soil. And if we just remove, nowadays we are just removing tree more and more, we are just destroying the forest area. What is happening? The landslides and the other things are happening. The topsoil is just flushing down. Okay students, so we have seen how the soil is eroded. First of all, by the deforestation. How? First of all, it is just the topsoil is eroded by the deforestation. How? What is deforestation? The forest area which is cutted, and then after where the houses or companies are built up, the trees which are cutted, the forest area is decreased. That is known as deforestation. As we cut the trees, what happens? The trees will not hold the topsoil. Trees will not hold the topsoil. And the second was what? Overgrazing by the animals. Overgrazing by the animals, in that we have seen that in the Australia they have made a padlock. There is a big farm over here. In that the sheep are to be grazed, and they made this is big ground or a farm. Okay students, I have in the board, it can't be just place, so I have made a small. So here what they just do, they divide this into 2 or 3 parts. Here I have 3 or 4 parts. So I have just divided it into 4 parts. This is part 1, 2, 3 and 4. And what they just do is they create a gate over here. They just built a gate over here. See, here I am just building a gate. So this sign, red dot, is the gate. Okay students, that we have to assume only. This is our second gate and this is our third gate. So in Australia, what they just do, after, first of all, from here all the ships come inside. Okay, and then after they graze over here only for some period of time, and then after what they do, they just open this door and all the ships will go to this part, and they again close this door. So the plants or grass which is over here, it will grow again. If animals or ships will overgraze, then the topsoil will be eroded more. Okay, so they will eat grass over here and they will not eat the roots of it. So the topsoil will remain protected, and then after they will transfer from here to here, and then after, as they will just, after some period of time, they will just eat this part grass, they will just move to this part. They will open this gate and all the ships will come to this part, and then again they will close the door, and then after the same process for this and this. Okay students, I am just repeating it again, that first of all the ships will come over here, they will graze, and after some period of time they will just move to this side. Why? Because the overgrazing by animals will not happen, so they will just move this side, and after some period of time, here to here, and then after here, and then again back to here. After then, here the grass will grow, and then after when the time will come to reach over here, here also the grass will grow, and here. So turn by turn, all the grass will they will graze, but the overgrazing will not happen to the farm or any ground. Okay, students. Now, see here, some of the description is given. I am just reading the description only. Over a period of thousands and thousands of years, the rock that once formed the earth crust cooled. They were weathered by wind, rain, and the sun. They broke up into smaller and smaller pieces, and finally becomes the topsoil. Then after topsoil is a very valuable resource that it nourishes all our foods, crop, and allow them to grow. You have already learned in that it took thousands of years for the parent bedrock to turn into rocky pieces, then into subsoil, and finally into topsoil. However, half an hour of torrential rain or a heavy speed wind is enough to wash or blow away or erode the topsoil if it is unprotected. I have explained all this thing just orally. I am just reading, so you can just match the words. I have just first explained in my words, and now you can just compare that word that what sir has teach us. Okay students, moving forward, and then after we have seen the natures. See here, I haven't talked about the natures in this video, but let us talk at nature of the topsoil. So the topsoil is soft, fine, so it can easily move with water and also move with wind. Okay, next is it contains decaying organic matter of plants and animals, and it is so fertile. So the decayed plants and animals give the fertility to the topsoil, and then after it is transferred back to the other plants. Okay, next, plants find the nutrition they required in the topsoil. All the nutrition of the plants come from the topsoil. Okay, next point is the root of the plants can grow easily into the topsoil. The roots of the plants means the soil is soft and fine, so the roots can easily travel in that, and it will grow and hold the soil. So these are some of the natures of the topsoil. Another, soil erosion or degradation. See here, in that I have just talked about deforestation and overgrazing of animals. So first of all, very often we have heard soil erosion take place over the world, and therefore an increase in desertification of the land. Soil erosion is the carrying away of topsoil by wind and rain, overgrazing by animals and plants, and same crop over and over play again in a place cause soil degradation. So the first was deforestation, which I have explained you. I am just reading that. Increasing soil erosion is due to increasing deforestation, that is cutting down of the forest. Once the forest protected the land, the roots of the tree held the soil in place. The tree reduced the speed of running water or wind. Now human population is increasing, and more land is required for agriculture and for building towns, and so more and more trees have been cut down. These leaves the soil loose, and it is eroded by wind and running water. For example, cutting down trees for quarrying and mining is the Silivalik hills has led to soil erosion as well as frequent landslides. Okay students, so I have explained this paragraph before only, I am just reading. And then it was second, overgrazing. What is overgrazing? When the animals just graze at one place for more period of time. So, overgrazing by animals is another cause of soil erosion. Animals normally bite off the grass above the ground, leaving the roots intact. If too many animals graze on the same piece of land, they eat up all available grass including the roots. This again leaves the soil unprotected and exposed to the force of nature. Big sheep farm in Australia have made padlocks with fencing and gates in between. Once the grass eaten by the sheep in one paddock, a gate is opened and the sheep are driven to the next paddock. Grass is allowed to grow in the first paddock before the sheep are let into it again. So this is all about the soil erosion. Now soil conservation. How the soil is conserved? First of all, the soil is eroded by deforestation. So the soil conservation is first the reforestation. Deforestation means cutting the forest and building the area for the houses and the companies there. And now for the conservation of soil, we have to just remove that and grow back the trees. Okay, that is the reforestation, means growing more and more trees so that just hold up the soil, or else it will just, this soil will convert into desert soil. We know that how the desert soil is. And the second one, but before that, I am just reading this one. In India, poorly planned developed programs are destroy the environment. Soil can be eroded by rain, running water, wind, advancing sand dusting in desert, and by poor drainage. Soil can be protected from erosion, that is conserved by different methods. Some of them are given below. If trees are cut down for wood or other purposes, new trees should be planted in their place. Tall trees, apart from holding the soil in place, reduce the speed of wind and prevent the soil from being blown away. Tree also attract clouds. It rains more in place where there are trees. If it rains more trees grow there. So for deforestation should be always accomplished by reforestation. Then after on hill slope, where there are no trees, rainwater flowing down the slopes washes away the soil. One way of conserving soil in such way is by cutting the slopes into steps or terraces. Farming can be done on the terracing by building small birds at the edge of the step to hold the water back. Such farming is called terrace farming. So the second thing. So I am just see here what is the hill slope. In the hill slope, they are just telling us to just grow the trees. So how we can do that? Let us see. So here if I say that this is the mountains, so what they are just telling, just do like this and just grow here trees. Okay, so by this you can grow more and more trees by doing this kind of things, and also it will help in the soil, holding the soil. The trees will help the holding in the soil. The next is, here I am once again reading it. On hill slopes where there are no trees, rain water flow down the slope, washes away the soil. One way of conserving soil in such way is by cutting the slopes into steps. Here I have just converted into step, and then after that by cutting the slope into step or terraces, farming can be done on terraces by building small burns at the edge of the steps to hold the water back. Such farming is called terrace farming. So this is also known as terrace farming. And then after, the crop rotation. What is crop rotation? See here, if in this year we have just, if I have a farm, so in this year what I have do, I have done the wheat. So in next year I will not do the wheat. I would like to do anything else, because wheat, which nutrition wheat is required, it will absorb all from the topsoil, and then after, if all the nutrition will absorbed by the plants or crops only, then nothing will, no nutrition will be there in the soil. So the soil will have no nutrition and it will be washed. So we have to just rotate the crop. See here how I am just reading it. Repeated cultivation of the same crop drains the soil of some specific nutrients. To avoid this, it is better to practice crop rotation. For example, a rice crop can be followed by a bean crop. Rice crop consumes more nitrogenous salts from the soil, and beans crop restore these nutrients to the soil. Thus, the soil is not depleted of nutrition. Means, if we just grow rice crop, then they need more nitrogenous thing. So what it will do is, and the beans crop, when it is just cultivated, they will just restore that nitrogen. Okay. Next, overgrazing by animals also should not be allowed. So overgrazing will not should allowed. We should use the paddocks method, which is used in Australia. And then after, soil formation is a very slow process, and soil is very valuable resource. It is non-renewable resource, as we cannot make fresh soil in one lifetime. Therefore, we have to take steps to conserve the soil. The government has taken some measures to control rapidly decreasing forest cover. Vana Mahotsav is one of the such program, which involves planting of trees, where the government nurses supplies planning for reforestation. If one tree is cut down, two should be planted in its place. Okay students, so here we have just completed the chapter number 1, that is soil erosion and conservation. Okay students, and now in your homework, find out the answers of exercise. Find out the answers of the exercise, and in next video, first of all, I will give the answers of it, and then after, what I will do is, I will just start a new chapter. Okay students, we will meet in the next video. Bye students.